Alrighty, YouTubes, what is up? Let's get into another Kaldheim draft. This one is for a best of one, and so far we've started off pretty strong with our sealed events and a traditional draft, but now doing some best of one fun stuff. I figure why not? Let's give it a gander, and we'll do the speed up version, the sped up version, because I just think it's more watchable, more enjoyable to watch, kind of makes it different than watching other drafters out there. Anyway, jumping into it, pack one, pick one. We got Jorn, which I'm excited to play because I haven't played much Snow thus far. And I think Jorn's pretty strong. Like, I don't think people realize when he attacks, he basically has Vigilance because of his untap ability. It's all Snow permanents. And because he's a Snow legendary guy, he untaps himself, which is kind of nice. And he's a big value add if we're trying to ramp into bigger stuff. Or, I mean, just in this set, being a 3/3 for 3 is not too shabby. Or if we need him maybe in the late game to be his staff self and just start giving us card advantage by letting us replay stuff out or whatever. Hey, potential. So we'll pick him up early. Pack 2, I don't really see anything exciting, and there's nothing wrong with taking Snowlands, especially when we're kind of trying to go that way. We get past us a Snow Rare, which is not a huge payoff, but in this format, with it being a little bit slower, I actually really like card draw, and something that lets us scry and then draw 3 at instant speed. Pretty helpful. I'm trying to see, like, is it better to take something like Frostbite or Crush the Weak or even the Snow Island? And I just kind of want to play more rares and try them out and see how they feel. And if we've already got the first 3 cards to support it, it's not like we're forcing a subpar spell. So yeah, just grab Graven Lore there. Next pack, not over, like, I'm not convinced Glittering Frost is all that good. Please tell me where you rank it or how you view it. I'm just not a huge fan of it. Bergstrider I've liked more than I probably should. And I think that's an early take on the Bergstrider, but I wasn't overly excited about that pack or anything that was really happening in that pack. And then I see another rare, which if we're playing the Snow deck, you can splash. You can easily splash. Raven Form's another card I've kind of come down on. I put it as one of the top blue commons in my draft guide, but I'm just not. It's a fine card. In best of 3, I'd be more excited to take it. Best of 1, I rarely draft it. And then, yeah, I take King Narfi's Betrayal because it's just a fun rare. And again, I kind of want to try playing new cards early on in the set. Figure why not? Let's go for it. Augury Raven, just a solid value pick, and it's a card that I'm happy to play multiple copies of, so grabbing one here early makes me feel a little bit better about it, and with it being blue, there's plenty of foretell stuff that can happen. Yeah, I mean, 3/3 Flyers. Flyers are so good in this format. Take Augury Raven. Now here I take Horizon Seeker. I was debating about the 1/3, but I don't. This pack was also a tough pick for me, but Broken Wings is a card that's gone up for me in value because of just how flexible it is. I think I've yet to play a game where it didn't have a target. Either you're playing an archetype that plays plenty of flyers, or you're playing an archetype that plays enchantments and artifacts. So there you go. Like, you're just always gonna have a target for it. Now here I'm really between. I think I honestly should have taken the Istfell land, but I take the Guardian Gladewalker because I really like the Changeling factor, which could matter depending on what else we pick up. I just like having a couple 2-drops. I shouldn't say a couple. I like having a good amount of 2-drops, and I like a 2-drop that scales a little bit into the mid and late game. The fact that it puts a 1/1 counter on something, I think can be pretty important, especially if it's like your Augury Raven versus their Augury Raven. You can throw a counter on yours. Now you make them either have to take the damage or potentially use a pump spell or just like whatever. I just found the card to be better than I've normally expected it to be, or even is it better than what it was in Zendikar Rising, whatever the green warrior was? I don't know. Anyway, I just like the card. With it being a Changeling too, we could wind up with some type of tribal thing where it matters. Anyway, the last pack I took Jasper Sentinel in case we need to splash or help splashing. Get another land. Get the 6/6 Worm, another card that's gone up for me in this format. A 6/6 that just helps you just smash. I should have probably taken that over Raise the Draugr, the second one that I just passed. I don't know why I took Raise the Draugr, because, well, that also works with Changelings. Maybe that's what I was thinking. If I play more black or get more in that direction, I definitely want that card over this. And I can pick up a second Worm, so whatever. Either way, none of those picks I think would change this draft one way or the other. Here, I think I should have taken Mistwalker, because that card has gone up for me as well. Here I get super excited, though, about getting the Bears of Litjara, or Lidara. Nailed it. This Saga, if you play this thing on curve, if I can go turn 2 Guardian Gladewalker, another reason I'm happy I got that card, into this, like, that can be game winning enough by itself. And then we get the Snow Gold card, which I'm not like snap picking it. I'm just looking around the pack though. There's really nothing else I'm too bummed about giving up there. So yeah, we'll take the gold card. I feel like things are working out so far in this draft. We've gotten a handful of snowlands, which I'm pretty happy about. We've gotten just some really solid plays, and we've gotten rares in our archetype, in our lane, which shows me to some extent that at least the people within 2 picks of us on either side of us are not in our lane, which, yeah, I mean, that just makes me happy. So yeah, grab another solid Augury Raven there, and now here, I debate, like, I should probably take Path to the World Tree on the off chance that I somehow get to a way where I could have it go off, or if I get the rare World Tree land. And I don't commit to it, which I'm a little bummed by, but I think I take the more responsible pick, which is Pilfering Hawk. I really don't mind having it. And then we get the black-blue Snowland, which I think is also really helpful. Although I kind of want Dogged Pursuit. Like, this is going to be a slower deck, but if I don't end up splashing the black, then it's a wasted pick. And getting the Snowland here, I mean, I'm always going to benefit from that. Might as well take it. Svala, I mean, I could just as easily splash in red here and cut some of the black, or just go 4 colors. Like, why not? And I kind of, I've a chicken out on the pick, and I don't take Svala. I take it like another Frost Yeti, which I'm probably not going to play. But Svala, I think, would have been a lot more fun. And looking back on the draft, like, I probably should have just taken it. And then if we get even 1 land with the Jaspera Sentinel, maybe we get some other fixing. Like, I feel like we could have made it work, or at least given ourselves the opportunity to make it work, which would have benefited the deck more so than not. With that said, I'm still happy with where we're at. I'm still happy with the lane I'm in, with the picks I've had thrown at me, and hopefully, we can solidify this deck, because we do need some more snowlands. We need a couple more, I want to say, early plays, or just ways to get in, whether it's like interaction, removal, that kind of thing. Now this pick, I'm not overly excited about. I'm just checking where I'm at. I take the Gold Vein pick because I like the card a lot. I just do. Disdainful Stroke I take because I mean, I 100% should have taken Behold the Multiverse here, but I take Guardian Glade Walker again. But I took the Gold Vein pick because it just helps you splash. It's really good with early flyers, which I don't have, so I don't know why I overvalued that pick there. Here, yeah, like end of pack 2, there's 2 or 3 picks that I probably would not say were the optimal choices. And I think it's because I went into like a comfort direction as opposed to a direction that I think is just the better direction. I went going towards the cards that I've played with before versus the cards that I think are just going to serve me better in the draft. And now I'm saying this in hindsight because I've already recorded the video and now I'm doing the voiceover for it. Anyway, pack 3, pick 1. Ice High Troll is tremendous. And the fact that we're kind of already in the snow lane, we've got a handful of snow lands. I would play 2-3 copies of Ice High Troll happily. So you know, you always hope you hit a non-color rare or even a non-uncommon, but Ice High Troll is pretty brutal, especially if your opponent's trying to get in on the ground, and you can just keep it there as that stone wall indestructible card. Struggle for Skemfar. I just love a copy in every green deck, so I'm finally happy to get one of those. Then we have the rare Choice Land that helps us splash black a little bit easier, although I could take the Snow Land. And I think just with it being on Arena, it's hard for me to come off the rare just to help with the collection and yada yada, even though I have a gazillion wild cards. I still just take the rare land because maybe I don't want it to enter tapped or something like that. I think the Snowland probably would have been better, but thankfully I haven't. I think I should have taken the Snowland. Only because I have a handful of good snow payoffs so far. Thankfully we get another Snow Forest there, which is pretty nice. And now, yeah, I'm just looking again for more cards that help make the splash possible. Like here's the blue-red Snowland, which could have helped us splash Svala and would have made that more exciting. I take the rare land just to help with the collection. Blizzard Brawl or Ice High Troll. This is really tough for me because I don't have enough Snowlands to make Blizzard Brawl work yet. And Ice High Troll is going to be really good without the need for 4, or I should say without the need of more Snowlands. But I also need interaction, and I went to take Blizzard Brawl and ran out of time and ended up with Ice High Troll. So I don't think that was like the worst case scenario, but I don't think it was the optimal pick. I should have taken the Ice High Troll. Here I take Masked Vandal because I like the card a lot. I like having 1 copy in this deck as well because you just need to be able to take care of artifacts and enchantments every now and again. And though I have a copy of Broken Wings, I really like the fact that it's a changeling creature and just gives more value as a 1/3, helps buy us time on the ground. Take a dogged pursuit there because we might end up playing it. Who knows? Gotta wait till we get to the end of this draft of this pick and just see how the build is feeling. I don't remember if when I was in the draft at this point, if I was still kind of stewing on my picks not being optimal thus far. And I could just feel like I was in the right lane for the seed I'm in for this draft. I feel like I was in the right lane. I just don't feel like I made the best picks possible. There's definitely a couple where I could have, I think, tweaked and was almost like doubting myself as I'm starting to build the deck. But you can't do that. Like, once you make your decision in a draft, you just got to go with it. You just got to realize, hey, this is fine. I still have a decent deck in front of me. I should still be able to pilot it to a solid draft, and then all in all, just use it as a good learning experience and hopefully grow from here. Now, back to the build. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see, like, is the splash for black really worth it? I don't think Raise the Draugr here is necessary. We should have plenty of ways to get ahead either on cards or just in for damage. I like that I ended up with 3 of the Glade Reader Changeling guys because we do need that early game play. I like that they kind of scale a bit better than other 2-drops, and they're Changelings, which if we need for shape-shifting type stuff, great. We've got a handful of on-color rares, which I feel like has been rare for me in drafts, and overall, even though I wasn't overly stoked about my draft picks, still pretty happy with where we ended up. Now, into the first game, get to be on the play, always a good feeling, have all 3 of my colors. Like, this is as decent of a start as I could really hope for. And we've got turn 2, draw our turn 3 play, which is kind of nice. Although I could have gone Gold Vein pick, equip, and then maybe even could have gone turn 4 gold card, but that's a really unexciting gold card play to just make another changeling. And I go the aggressive route here, though, because my opponent goes the stall route, and I don't want them to stall, and I want to be able to hopefully play whatever big creatures I end up drawing here sooner than later. Now, next turn, depending on what I draw, I can just play down my Jorn and go from there. Of course, they play a 3 power thing with blue, which makes me sad. I'm just trying to figure out, is it worth trading away my 2-drop for their 3-drop? Do I... Yeah, we'll just kind of wait and see what I draw here. Now, the fact that I draw Evasion makes me kind of happy. I think, why not just stay on the aggro game plan and make my opponent stop me? Like, they're definitely not going to win the race right now. And as long as we don't keep drawing land, we should be able to gum up the board even if they start going the giant game plan. They shouldn't be able to win the race unless something catastrophic happens. Now, the fact they're playing Glimpse of the Cosmos here is, I'd say, overall good for me, because that means they don't have an answer. They've got a grip, but they don't have an answer. Unfortunately, draw a land, and that makes me a little sad. We've hit all of our snow lands, though. Definitely can't complain about that. And I'm just trying to figure out, do I play the gold card or do I play Jorn? And I play the gold card only because it's going to be a better blocker, and they won't be able to just get through attacking. Like, I don't have to trade away Jorn for one of their 3 power creatures. It also is a good threat if they decide to take out my flyer or something happens here. I can throw the wings on it, and now they're still on a 2-turn clock. Playing down their Bergstrider here. Yeah, we're going to take a hit, but overall we should be okay. Like, to me, they still haven't found their answer, or else they would have just used it on our flyer, and we've got them, I'm hoping, on a 2-turn clock. Although I couldn't do math because 4 plus 4 is only 8. Okay, now we get Ice High Troll. Pretty solid draw. And we have 2 snow lands up. So now I debate, like, do I play Jorn or do I keep the snow lands up? And then I realize, wait, I can just use my treasure tokens I've been collecting all game, play out Jorn, and keep up my indestructible Ice High Trollness. Yeah, all in all, this seems pretty solid. Plus my 4/4 is going to untap. So unless they can tap that thing down or interact with me, I feel really good right now. I don't know how they, without them playing some huge bomb, we should have this game in the bag. Now, they could just be playing it out because they have an answer, like another Bergstrider to tap something down. I don't know if they realize that I can just throw the wings on my 4/4. Like, I'm just not sure what they're doing. And also attacking like this, where I can just use my Ice High Troll, I think, I don't know what's happening. I'm waiting for the blowout. I'm waiting to see my mistake or my bad assumption. and figure here, if they want to use the last of their mana to get rid of my 2/3, like that's fine. But then I just think, okay, they must have just made a miscalculation and realized, or forgot, that I could just equip my wings over, and then they hit me with the oops, and I get to play out my King Narfi's Betrayal and attack for 5. Game 1. Done. We did it. Got the W. Pretty exciting times. Not too shabby. Now going into game 2, I was pretty happy with how the deck played. Even though or what should I say? I had a good start. I had the turn 2 into 3 into 4, but it was all like, you know, that wasn't meant to be a Voltron. This isn't meant to be a Voltron deck, but it kind of played like that the first game. Now I'm just hoping, as long as we're on the play, if we can draw land and spells, I feel like I've got enough snow value and a good enough curve that I can compete with just about any deck, as long as they don't curve out better than me and just smash me. Because this deck does need some time to build up its advantage. Seen my opponent mulligan, I feel bad for him, but I also don't, like, you all know what I'm saying, right? You want to win a competitive game, but if you're going to be in a non-competitive game, you want to be the one winning it, right? Like, you want to be the one be on the receiving end of someone else's bad luck, as opposed to just your bad luck ruining everything. I digress. Having my Eyesight Troll get Demon Bolted did not feel good. Made me kind of sad, actually. Because Eyesight Troll, with us starting with 2 Snowlands, could have just been GG, especially against a red-green deck. Like, they don't have many ways to deal with it. As long as I don't get too aggressive with Eyesight Troll, then I'm good. Now, trading away their Horizon Seeker here for my creature, I just think because they mulliganed, I don't mind trading away cards. Like, now is the time. As long as we can keep playing spells, we should be okay. And I play down, like, I go really slow with this line of playing out the Saga instead of, like, foretelling, or no, the reason I did this is then I can foretell my Augury Raven. Okay, what am I talking about? I guess I could have played down my 4/4 Bergstrider, but that doesn't make sense. And I thought about keeping up the Graven Lore just so I could draw some cards, but playing essentially 2 spells for 1, not too shabby. Now here, they played on the 5/5. Like, that's unfortunate, but I can stall it out with Eyesight Troll, and I can also just, like, hopefully win the race. Like, if they want to attack for 5, look, I can swing back for 5. And then on my turn, if they attack, I can play down Bergstrider, which will then tap their thing down, and then we're definitely winning the race. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what happens. Although if they're on the red-green game plan and they put like 6 of those worms down, then I might not win the race, and that doesn't feel good. And I think about double blocking here, and I just think, no, not gonna do it, no blocks, and then they blow up my Eyesight Troll with Demon Bolt number 2. Like, come on. Eyesight Troll. Just wasn't meant to be. Guess it wasn't meant to be. Anyway, drew a land, so we can play Bergstrider down, still tap their thing down, add to the board. Things are going okay, you know? Things are alright. We have a Changeling in the graveyard too, so raise the Draugr is kind of nice. Grab a Changeling and then whatever other creature you want. Of course, they played out another big body, and the 5/4, I didn't... I always think the 5/4 that this card's when it ETBs, search your deck for a card. And then when I realized it's when it dies, I was like, oh no, I just gave them a card. And then they fail to find, or just don't have a way to... They don't have another creature to find with their thing. So I play out Yorn as the staff, because I think that's just another way to get ahead. And I can keep playing Eyesight Troll no matter what now. And I do that, and they masked Vandal my staff. Oh my god. This person just has my number in this game. And that's fine, you know, because look, they're almost to top deck mode. They got 1 card left in hand. I have an inevitability with Frostbeak Yeti. I have a flyer. I've got a way to draw cards. I've got a way to get my creatures back for the 100th time. Hopefully that's all I need? Question mark. Fingers crossed. I'm just really, really hoping that they don't play some other big body. I don't want to deal with any more of those worms. But I figure, wait, they don't have any more worms? Because if they did, they would have just grabbed it out of their deck when they're yew tree creature thing died. It may start getting a little ugly here, though, if they do find another combat trick, or depending on how I try and block, if I want to try and trade stuff away. And I think, you know what? I could double block, get rid of one of their big things, jump block the other thing. But I think, wait, if I'm going to double block, I might as well just end up 1-for-1ing myself, as opposed to 2-for-1ing. They'll get rid of the 4/4, hope they don't have a combat trick. They don't. I breathe a huge sigh of relief, and then somehow they play another freaking worm. And it's because they already had it in their hand. They didn't need to draw it. That's fine. And I think, okay, wait, I'll take the gold vein pick, because I can slap that on my bird, play it on a chump blocker. We've got enough to win in 2 turns. And then I realized, wait, they just played the worm, which means I went from 10 to 14, which means it's no longer a 2-turn clock. What am I doing? Do I just struggle for Skemfar here? Oh, that's what I should do. I should struggle for Skemfar, get rid of their 5/5, and then have my 6/6 flyer outrace their 6/6 ground worm thing. And hopefully they don't draw something like a Broken Wings or anything like that. Now they attack here, which makes me a little nervous, and I actually end up blocking with my Horizon Seeker, because what I can do is go for the win, which is play my gold card, copy the changeling, put the counter on my bird, throw down the gold pick on the bird as well, and then boom, lethal. We're there. Except for the fact that I'm 1 mana short. So I think my super clever, super smart, super fancy play was there. And then I realized, okay, I don't have enough mana. I'm just going to play down and create another lethal flyer. Call it a day. And when my opponent scoops there, I'm actually like more relieved than I probably should have been. Like, I was just waiting to lose that game. Once the game was over, I just realized I thought I was going to lose that game. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. All right, now game 3. What is this? On the play again, which I was shocked by. I think this is 3 games in a row I've been on the play. Pretty ecstatic. Have all access to all 3 colors. Like, I don't know what more you could ask for. And I don't play out Mass Vandal because I'm holding it as more of a removal spell than just a 1/3 that's going to hang out and do nothing for the entirety of its existence. So, yeah, I guess I realize I'm going to take a damage. There's no benefit to me having a changeling on the board. It's in a way right now showing that it's not a super good card to have in my opening hand, unless my opponent ends up playing out a pretty sweet target for it. But even if they do, I need another creature in the graveyard. It just feels clunky. Like, I wish I'd had my card I just drew in my hand instead of that. You know, pros and cons. Mass Vandal card I'm a big fan of, but yeah, it's kind of showing where it's not as good as other options in the format. And in some ways I could be overranking it. Now I'm like, hey, they played an enchantment. Look at that. I wouldn't mind targeting that with my Masked Vandal. So now what we can do is we can play our land, and then we can play our 1/1 blocker to get it in the graveyard, and then Masked Vandal whatever they got going on. Or we could play Horizon Seeker. I just don't know what the best option is. And I think, you know what, let's play the Guardian, because then I can also put the counter here, and then it's a good blocker. I don't know why I was thinking, like, let's keep 2 mana up for Masked Vandal. That's a next turn kind of play. So I'm hoping I hit my 5th land, and then I can go Horizon Seeker, Masked Vandal, assuming they attack. But then I'm also like, wait, they're not going to attack because I have 2 Snowland up for Ice-Hide Troll. So what is going to happen? My kryptonite in these situations is that I want to attack and get aggressive and forget about the fact that if I get aggressive with a response like Ice-Hide Trolls, that's when I get blown out. Because if I attack and then they kill it in response, well, I've already played my hand, give or take, you know, like I've already done my thing, and that's not smart. And thankfully, play more disciplined here. I just pass. Doesn't feel great to pass because it's turn 5 and I did nothing other than wait, which gives my opponent time to find their next land or find whatever they're doing next. Thankfully, it's just adding to the ground game, which does not have me concerned at all. If I hit a 6th land, I can go big old worm. They've also now found their Raven Wings, which could be a better target for Masked Vandal. You know, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. My thought right now is, do I attack? I think I just attack with the Guardian and see if they want to block. If they want to block, then I can play Masked Vandal and Horizon Seeker. If they don't want to block, then great. I also attack with Ice-Hide Troll because I'm just trying to see, like, what are they going to do? They're going to double block with their tokens. I think I got them beat here, and then my Kryptonite shows up where I forget that the big stupid elf that they have allows them to tap them for land, which just makes me so sad that, again, Ice-Hide Troll gets on the battlefield and then gets removed, although this time kind of totally on me, you know? And there's no bringing it back this time because I had to exile it with Masked Vandal. But at least we stopped whatever their annoying ground to air attack line would have been. Got rid of their stupid wings. But now we just gotta hit that 6th land so that we can go Ravenous Lindworm and then win that way. Because I can go Ravenous Worm and then create a 7/7 or 8/8 worm with the gold card. We're gonna be in business. Like, life will be good. And thankfully we draw our land. Life is seeming good right now. Although I'm also seeing, hey, they have like a lot of bodies. And if I attack, I'm trading like 1.5 for 1. And then I'm getting this Elven Bow is kind of annoying because it gives +1/+2, which just makes it really hard when you attack in to trade or win the trade, I'd say, in a meaningful manner. Thankfully, though, they're in top deck mode. We've still got some plays. And Pilfering Hawk would normally be great here, but it's a, you know, because they have 2 creatures with reach now, or an artifact that will always allow them to have reach, I'm not able to get in with my flyer. So Struggle for Scamfar is kind of nice here, but I don't want to play it because, like, right now everything's at parity, but I should eventually win this because I still have wings to find in my deck. I figure we'll just use the mana, get it played out, play Pilfering Hawk or Horizon Seeker just to get a body down. I think I should have played Pilfering Hawk there just to help with my dead draws sooner than later, but Horizon Seeker is a better blocker if they want to get aggressive and I don't have to trade away just my Lindworm or Chump Block. I think Chump Blocking right now would feel kind of awkward, but they, yeah, you know, like, who knows what they draw. Great, they draw another essentially dead draw, in my humble opinion. Let's play this down, let's get another monster body in play, and now we can have this eat something and then attack with our 6/6, which should make them have to trade away at least 2 things, and then hopefully we can just start getting in, because then next turn, depending on what they draw, we'll just tap down whatever their biggest thing is, attack with Bergstrider, and just keep getting in for damage. They tap to add 1 green. I was like, wait, why are they doing this? Because they can. And now right now they may even have to go like 3 for 1, which is kind of nice. I decided to attack with Horizon Seeker too because I don't want to wait. I figure I'm willing to trade Horizon Seeker away for a token, which seems like, I don't know if that's a good trade. But I just want to get rid of their cards. And if we have an 8/8, the only way we can really start getting in is if we can clear the board, and it makes them less likely able to draw something like a pump spell or whatever that even gives them the potential to get our 8/8 off the board. So I get what some might say a little over aggressive, but with what they have on the board and what's going on, I feel fine. Now, thankfully, they're still 1 power short of getting able to trade away for our Lindworm, and that just has me feeling really good right now. Bergstrider, tap down your biggest thing, and I make them have to block with the 3/2 that can boast, because, I mean, to me, that just makes them have to put themselves in an even worse position to try and find an answer. That's why I tapped down the Packmate. Now, right now, they do have 9 power on the board, so they could just hold off, but they start getting aggressive because they realize they need to find an answer, because waiting to die to my 9/9 Lindworm is not going to do it for them. Now, thankfully, they find a good card, but they can't cast it this turn, which I'm a little sad for them, but I'm not that sad. Like, I'm pretty happy, actually, that they don't find some ridiculous answer, although with only 2 mana, I don't know what you could really find other than another card, just another chump blocker to help buy you time. Now I'm trying to think, do I play this out or do I just wait? And I'm saying, all right, let's just go to combat, see what they want to trade away, see what they want to do, and go from there. They chump block, they take 4, and yeah, just wait. No need to play out my entire hand. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe I need to add this 1/1 counter to something. My opponent's drawing decent, like they're finding good playables as opposed to land. Unfortunately, they're not finding like those follow-up draws, I'm assuming. But they're doing the attack again, get their 4/4 down. I don't really care to block, just gonna leave it and and assume that I can win the race right now, which right now I can't. I'm waiting to see if they equip. They don't. They play another card. You know, now it doesn't feel great. They've got 9, 10, 11, so me putting the counter on my Lindworm doesn't really mean much, but I'll happily trade away 1 for 3 right now, and then I can just play down my Frostbeak Yeti, block their 4/4 when they attack. Like, right now, all is feeling good. Like, we're definitely in the driver's seat, and I'm starting to think that their window to find an answer is closing, even though they've given themselves as good of an opportunity as possible to find that answer. Trading away 2 for 1 there, another chump blocker, and then I think, wait, they're not trading away 2 for 1 because I can't count again. But their Soul of Pack Beast lives. Why does their Soul of, hold on, why does their Soul of Pack Beast live? I don't know, I can't do math. Point is, everything's going fine. Everything's fine. They don't find an answer, it's another land. And at this point when you're playing the game, you're hoping that you're just waiting to win. And now they've got a couple chump blockers. Just wait. I remembered I was just sitting here really stewing. I'm like, why did I not kill their Pack Beast and their Horizon Seeker? Like, didn't I attack a 3/2, a 3/3, and a 3/2 with a 5/5? Maybe just go, I don't know. And then I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to win right here. Give this an unblockable. Make them have to double block or whatever. And then I've got Broken Wings, which is actually a pretty solid draw. Because if they somehow were able to get something flying or have exactly lethal, Broken Wings can remove the Elven Bow, which then gets rid of Reach, and I can just poke in for the win next turn. Pilfering Hawk plus Yeti, unblockable, essentially. They say the old good game and just scoop. Okay, so we got there. We start off this draft 3-0. Pretty excited about that. On to the next game, which amazingly, again, I'm on the plate. But I do have to take a mulligan because I just don't have a great starting hand. Like, you can't keep a one-lander. Thankfully, the mulligan, get access to all 3 colors, have some plays, but we're a little slow. I see the red come down, makes me a little nervous, especially if they go like red-white and they start curving out real good. Because if they curve out well and they stop us from being able to stabilize, especially with what we have in hand, we're going to be hurting. King Narfi's Betrayal right now is kind of like a dead card. We're not really going to have anything. We're just not going to have time. And then I see the 2/2 give stuff haste, and I think we could be in some trouble. Do I think Horizon Seeker or Jorn is the better play? And 100% it was Jorn, and for some reason I play Horizon Seeker. I don't know what to tell you there, because like it's a 3/3, which means it can block a 3 or a 2/2. Instead I play the 3/2 and just think to myself, what am I doing? And then I see my opponent foretell something, miss a land drop, and then not attack with their 2/2, and I think, wow, did I dodge a bullet there? Now I play a really slow line here, as opposed to playing my 3/3. That also helps me untap my snow lands and just gives me a reason to attack safely. I play out the card that ends up whiffing quite bad, and now does nothing for me, except like I can play down a 1-drop. I was so disappointed in myself for not playing Jorn there. I'm sitting there like, I could have just lost myself the game. Like, I don't know what I was doing, what I was thinking. There's no reason to do that. Now my opponent attacks, which I think should have done that last turn. Played on their 2/1. Not the worst play in the world. Now we can play down the 1/2, and then play down Augury Raven. Play down Augury Raven, and then play the gold card, get a copy of it, just win in the air. That's probably my best line. So let's just do that. And then we've got the 1/2. 1/2 is a good blocker against the 2/1 tokens. So as long as Augury Raven lives, I feel like we're fine. Like, we'll just get there, and yeah, we're fine. Everything's good. And then I see them hover over Augury Raven, and I think, how dare you? You just shot my bird out the sky, as well as my best chance at winning, which just hurts. Now I'm just in this like sticky space of, one, like punching myself for how I've played this thus far, and then like 2, just trying to figure out, all right, what's my best course? Do I wait and draw cards? Do I play my gold card? Do I just play Jorn as a blocker and wait? Like, I've tilted myself off this game with a subpar play on turn 4 or whatever it was. Hit my opponent with that thinking, just so they don't think I'm like salty and sandbagging them for no reason. I'm just genuinely thinking, what do I do here? And the best thing about taking time in Arena is your opponent, all they're dealing with probably in that moment is their imagination, which I tend to think is leaning towards the negative and hoping that that would make them more passive. In this case, it doesn't, and they're like, fine, you want to take your time? I don't. I'm going to play a lot. I'm going to hit my land drops. I'm going to start playing some good spells. And I think, okay, great, time to find an answer. And I figured those are good cards to draw. We can go here, we can make our stuff bigger, we can play this, like maybe I go Jorn and then I can foretell over Struggle of Skemfar. I just wish I had one more land in play, because if I had 7, I could go like 5 and 2, or I can go 3-2-2. You know, leaving a land up right now just feels awkward to me. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we just foretell this, play Jorn out, and just wait. Now here, I'm gonna have to probably trade away my creatures just to buy myself some time, and that doesn't feel great. You know, like that just doesn't feel good. I don't know what else to say other than that. And then unfortunately, the fact that they bound in gold Jorn just means we're getting hit for a lot. So trade away creature, and then just kind of wait and see what happens this turn. Draw Ice-Hide Troll, which is tremendous. Would have been tremendous a turn ago as well, because then it could have just blocked and lived. Now here, yeah, I'm just kind of thinking, I guess I got to eat a token. And then Raise the Draugr is like the least exciting Raise the Draugr I've ever played in my entire life. But I can grab a 1/2, which blocks a token and gives me a chance at just having another turn. Maybe I play my Snow card and play, or, you know, target Jorn and just keep the 5/5 version in play. Not all bad. I was just really wishing I had at least a changeling in the graveyard, any changeling, just to have or get up a card. Just doesn't, yeah, it doesn't work out that well. But seemingly, from what we've seen, we've stabilized, except for the fact that our opponent still has like 4 or 5 cards available to them. So even though we're on the play, that mulligan is really hurting us, and the fact that we didn't get to keep anything substantial on the board for very long, like, they're definitely winning the race. White-red aggro here, even though they haven't had a great start or great game, they've just been able to keep doing damage. And seeing this, like, just doesn't feel good. None of this feels good. Now, Mass Vandal here, not a bad draw, because now we've got 2 pretty decent blockers and the ability to get Jorn back in the game. And I'm thinking, oh wait, no, that was like a tremendous draw, because now we can attack, get in for damage, keep up Ice-Hide Troll. Like, we just stabilized and then some. That was the best draw I could have ever hoped for. Really, I mean, all things considered, that was the bee's knees. And now we just gotta wait. Just gotta wait and win. That's it. Just find some way to, like, get in for flying damage or something. But then I realized, oh, they just added 3 more bodies to the board, and I've only got 4 blockers. So any pump spell, I lose. Any evasion, I lose. Oh, and then they play this card, and they just pop me right in the dome for 4. I'm frustrated at myself. I don't even know if I could have won that with how well they drew. But I definitely did not give myself anywhere near the best chance I could have to win that game. And that's why I was so frustrated, is like, at no point did I feel like I was getting outplayed. I was just outplaying myself. You know what I mean? We got to shake it off. On to the next game. Opponent goes first. Still have pretty decent hand. Like, we can go turn 2, foretell Augury Raven. Turn 3, Augury Raven. Turn 4, Augury Raven number 2. And we're winning the race in the air, I assume. We turn our cat black just to find our 3rd color of land. And we play the 2nd forest out just to keep our opponent guessing, keeping them on their toes. Ooh, what does this mono green deck have as its accompanying color? You're never gonna know. Actually, you'll find out next turn. Now, the fact that they're also going the Voltron strategy of, let's just make as monstrous of a ground creature as possible, and then I draw a Horizon Seeker and think, you know what, I'll use that as my 3 mana play and, like, just block with it and trade it away. Like, I don't know what I was thinking there. Now here, they're going Voltron. They got a 4/4 Vigilant you know, machine. Now I should have enough bodies to just like win the race. I don't know why I don't attack there. Like, I would happily trade away my 4-4, my 4-3 for their 4-4 vigilant whatever. They had no ways to block, they had no ways to do anything. Yeah. That seemed like a weird time to not attack. Now, thankfully, I guess them using Skemfar meant that it couldn't attack for a turn, so value. But yeah, now I'm just hoping I can hit my 6 land. If I can play my Lindworm down, that should hopefully just shut everything that they're trying to do down. They can't attack with their 3-3. If they do attack with their 3-3, I'll be very hesitant about it, because that would mean that they have a combat trick. And would you look at that, they have more runes than I could have thought possible. Now, thankfully, they still can't attack with their 4-4 and use its ability, or else I'd have to like 2-for-1 myself, which I definitely don't want to do. And I'm happy to attack with my Bergstrider here, because thankfully we drew our land, which means we can play down our Lindworm. Gaining 4 life in this situation also is a big deal. It's a big deal. When they're at 10 and we were at 14, now we're at 18. Like, it's going to take multiple turns for them to get ahead of us on life, and hopefully, with us having Augury Raven 1 down and about to play number 2, like, we're set. We should be good to go. Now, with them attacking here, I think, do I just take 10 and like not even worry about it? And I'm just chewing on. Do I just maybe chump block? Well, there's no point in chump blocking because they both have trample, since they both have the green rune on them. And then I think if they have a combat trick, I don't really want to lose my worm for no reason right now. I think I just take the 10 and call it a day. And if they want to use a combat trick, well then, that makes my life a lot easier attacking with my worm. Taking 10 here is gonna hurt. And yeah, I mean, they're taking their time thinking, do I use my combat trick now? They don't. But they gotta have something, right? Like, there's no way they're stalling unless they're playing some big brain mind games. And if they are, touche to them. Well played. I'm hoping I draw anything other than a land. And right on cue, I draw a forest, which just doesn't feel good. Nope, not even a little bit. Attack for 3 here. And now I'm thinking, okay, on my second main phase, like, if they want to block and use some combat trick here, like, Godspeed. I would love for that to happen. Now's the time to do it. They don't, which also makes me feel kind of good, because now we've got 6 damage in the air, plus we've got more blockers. So if they even have combat tricks or whatever, as long as I line up my blocks and do the math to not get completely run over this turn, we should be able to just win on the crackback. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how they attack. Now, I'm also hoping they only have 1 combat trick, because if they have 2, well, then we probably lose. But if they had 2, they probably could have just played them both last turn and won. So now I think, okay, let's throw the worm in front of the 5-5, because now they have to use their combat trick just to keep their thing alive. And then we can triple block the 6-6 and not lose all of our stuff, unless, again, they use another combat trick. So if they have 2 combat tricks, we're done. If they only have 1, well, then we live. And then they play Kaya's whatever, and it gives it double strike. And I think, did I just lose? And I try and do some math real quick, and I realize I don't. I'm at 1. But then I'm like, oh no, they win next turn. And then I stop and think, wait, they have to block my 6-6 or else they lose. So we just trade. I've got 2 flyers. They've got nothing on board. There were 5 land too, which makes me think, you know, there's nothing with haste that I have to worry about. And there's no way they can play multiple creatures this turn. Or is there? Sarulf's Packmate makes all dreams possible. They got 2 white. That just makes me really, really nervous, because there's that 1 white combat trick for, I think it's just 1 white. Target creature gets +1/+3 and reach till end of turn. And I think if they got that in hand, they win. If they use their Spectral Steel here or whatever, then we win, because they don't have any mana left and they're just conceding. But they play Codespell Cleric, which of course leaves up 1 white. And they say good game, and I think, are they bluffing? I attack. Barely escaped with my life on that one. Now moving in to our next game. What am I? I'm 4-1 right now, which feels pretty good. Get to go first, all 3 colors. Like, pretty solid hand. Foretell into Eyesight Troll into Struggle for Skemfar, Foretelling, and Augury Raven. Like, life's pretty good. And then I see Ice Tunnel, and I think, okay, if I draw a land, I will play Eyesight Troll. Nope, just kidding. I'll play down the Snow Land and then play out Augury Raven. What I probably should have done was play land, play Eyesight Troll, next turn play land 4, play Augury Raven, foretell struggle for Skemfar. I don't know why I didn't, other than I just want to win the race with my flyer. And yeah, I mean, probably just because they have a 3-3 that I figured we can just win the race. Yeah, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Now, if I struggle for Skemfar here, which I do, I just really like getting rid of their creature and not allowing them to have multiple ways to crew this 3-3. And if they want to play a creature out and then crew to attack, like, again, that's just win race material. Now, thankfully, I have 2 snow lands, so I can play land number 5, play Eyesight Troll, keep up Defender. I love the fact that they're playing this freaking 06 Ox that can crew with its butt. And, I mean, like, that's a thing, but it's not a thing that's going to win them this game, thankfully, because I have an annoying 4-4 flyer, which has them right now on a 4-turn clock. And drawing the old Broken Wings here feels really good. Now, my opponent's missed a couple land drops. I love the fact that they actually have this 6-3, and I'm just going to really make them sad because I'm going to destroy it once they crew it. But then they attack here with this Funeral Longboat, and I think they messed up. I don't even get to crush their dreams because they scoop early, which I'm not sad about. I'm a little sad. Like, I really wanted Broken Wings, the 6-3. The first time I ever see it get crewed, it just gets immediately destroyed. But hey, not going to complain about a quick W. Not even a little bit. So far, the deck is feeling like it's feeling good. Right now, we're 5-1. I had to take a break, come back, which always makes me a little eerie coming back to Arena for whatever reason. I just feel like it knows. Oh, you left me? I will punish you for leaving my platform. How dare you? Thankfully, you know, I feel like this game's off to a fine start. We got all 3 colors. We're on the draw, which is meh. But got a turn 2 into turn 3 into turn 4. Like, life is good. I played both green lands just because I don't want them to know what my second color is. Little do they know, I could even have a third. I really should have played 4. Like, I should have played Swallow. You know what I mean? Anyway. Do I play the island? I think I was trying to debate, do I just foretell more stuff out, or do I play my bigger thing? What do I do here? And I play out Pilfering Hawk, because I'm just like, something in my gut's telling me they got removal, and then they play that 3-2, and I think I should have just played Augury Raven. Why did I not play Augury Raven? Because I was trying to like outsmart them, like, oh, they're gonna Broken Wings my thing, and that's gonna make me so sad, and life's hard. But then they play out just a casual mythic enchantment. No big deal. And I'm reading it like, what happens here? What does this mean? Is this good or bad for me? I think it's bad. It's all bad. So I don't know like what I'm doing right now. What am I doing? I'm thinking. What I probably should do is just Augury Raven and then foretell struggle for Skemfar. I don't know why that's not being done, but hey, you know, there's nothing wrong with just taking a second and thinking through what you're doing. And again, I played Jaspara Sentinel. Like, why have I not played Augury Raven yet? I don't know. I'm sure you're asking yourself the same thing, as am I. Reason being, in my big brain moment, is, oh, if they attack, I'm just going to get rid of my Sentinel and then use my Masked Vandal as my way to get rid of this big, dumb enchantment. Or artifact, not enchantment. Artifact sword thing. And this is my one way to do it, and it exiles it, so I don't have to worry about it forever, for the rest of the game. Like, go away. Get out of here. Hopefully that means, like, all is well. And then I can even do this, and like, oh, life is good. This game is so easy. What more could I ask for? Oh, getting blown out. That's what I could ask for. Yep, unfortunately, they have a pretty decent answer, and I get 2 for Ode, or 2 for 1, get rid of their combat trick. But I'm still thinking, you know, I've got the 3-3 flyer. Never mind, they played a 6-6 worm. Game's probably over at this point. And even if they didn't have that combat trick, right now I just have a 2-4, and they'd still have a 6-6, and they play Sorrowf, and I'm like, oh my good lord. Things aren't looking great. I'm kind of... I'm really on the back foot right now. And then I think, hey, don't worry, Augury Raven's here. And I'll play down Broken Wings, which is really fitting. When you have nothing but birds and then your flying artifact. But either way, yeah, this game's all but over. I can just jump block and like wait for my demise, or wait to see if they have a combat trick and they say, no, you know what, I'm just gonna bleed you out. I don't mind. I'll take my time. And I don't know what else they're doing. They're probably playing something. And I just think right now, like if I draw a land, I'm just gonna concede. But then I think, wait, it'd be really fitting if I Broken Wings my actual pair of wings, and then I concede. But yeah, they had some good cards, and I did not, unfortunately. I think I kind of flooded a little bit that game. I didn't play optimally though. I got beat by a better deck. So such is life. I'm also at 5 wins, so now I'm at 5-2. Is that right? I'm at 5. Yeah, I'm at 5-2. So going into the next game, get to go first again, which makes me pretty happy. This is like a hand that I'm just so sad about, because for the first time, I have the Bears of Lityara. The first game out of like 8 that I finally get to start with my awesome Saga in my hand, and I don't have my 2-drop to go with it. And it crushes my heart, because if I have 2-drop into this, that's like GG, thanks for trying. And they play like an awesome rare of their own. But I think, hey, you know what? That's fine. This card will essentially act as removal for that, plus give me a 4/4. Please don't interact with it, and we should be fine. But if they do interact with it and they save it, maybe we draw a swamp and then we steal their thing, and we got some elves / changelings. Like everything's gonna work out. It's gonna be great. Life's good. Unfortunately, I still just don't feel great about where I'm at, and they're hitting all their colors. Things are seeming right where they want to be. I miss a land drop here, which also just feels awful. As much as I could complain about draws, when you start with 3 land in hand and then miss land drop 4 and 5, like that just feels terrible. I feel so bad. I probably should have attacked with my 4/4 there, because there's no way they block with their War Master and their Sculptor of Winter. And even if they do, that's probably a trade I'm willing to make. But then the reason I didn't is I just think, hey, if they don't interact with it, I get a free remove your 2/2 rare, and then I have a 4/4 left on the board, which right now they can't deal with. And don't worry, they find a way to deal with it. But still, I have a 4/4. I can get around a 5/5. A 5/5 is definitely not something that is insurmountable by any means, but missing a land drop like that is just brutal. And I think, okay, I could play my King Narfi's Betrayal here. That gets me at least their elf and allows me to maybe find something else. And I'm just missing that land drop was crushing, was truly crushing. I tap down the 4/4. I don't know, like there's no reason to tap down the 4/4 there. Another mistake. I'm just tilted by not hitting my land drop, because I need to keep the 4/4 up as a better blocker. It keeps everything back but the 5/5. Really just their 2/2. I guess the 1/1s I'm not worried about, and the 3/3 can also block that. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's not that big of a mistake. If they attack and they're attacking with everything, they have a combat trick. They don't attack with everything, it's because they got the 5/5. But then I could have also just played or kept the 4/4 back, and then if they attack with the 5/5, I can just double block the 5/5 but only trade away one of my creatures, as opposed to this, which now has me just taking 5 damage. So made a mistake, tried to talk myself out of having made that mistake, and then was like, nah, I still made the mistake. Now right here, I'm thinking, okay, I could play down Raven Wings and just give my 4/4 5 power. I could not do anything and keep up essentially 5 land to play Gravenlore and hopefully find an answer out of this mess. I'm feeling off my game. Seeing my opponent curve out rather well, have good spells, and me not responding well enough. Like I have the tools, I'm just not using them well enough. And now I'm like really kicking myself, because maybe if they just top deck this Blizzard Brawl, then I really hurt myself, because, well then, you know, they now have a 5/5 to deal with my stuff. But then I also realized, well, they are, like, their thing would have got indestructible and taken care of my 4/4 either way. But it's still just like, they'd have this 5/5 I don't have a way to deal with right now. And they're going wide. They're going real wide. I need to find my worm, I need to find land, I need to find some way to take care of what's happening. Now, thankfully, find struggle for Skemfar. So there's half the battle. I found removal. I need to get something on the board that can take care of their 5/5 and also stop these tokens getting in, because our life total is getting pretty low. Like I don't know if I've already ran out of time, depending on what they have in their hand. I may have. Right here though, like if I play King Nefari's Betrayal, I'm just gonna be really far behind. But I think if I can play this and then live till next turn, maybe that's how I stabilize. As I play this, hit a couple creatures, find a way to just survive. That's all I gotta do. I just gotta survive till next turn, and I'm in. I'm good. Foretell that out. Okay. Now next turn, if they attack, throw the 1/2 in front of the 5/5. The 3/3 eats the 2/2. I take 4, 5, 6. I take 7. I'm at 9. And then doing the math, I'm like, nah. I mean, I just lose. I lose. I should have played my gold card. I should have just given myself a bit more time. But then I'm also thinking, like, there's just no way. If they attack all out 2 turns in a row, no matter how I played my hand, I lose this game. Really smart of them to play the changeling and make their 2/2 into a 3/3 so that I can't eat it. And then also just doing the math here, I realized, no, I think I just lose. Or like, here's what I'm realizing. No, it doesn't matter how I played out my hand. I just lose because they just have too wide of a board. Play the 1/3 that just gets rid of my enchantment too, which is very fitting. Like Touche, they drew, I'd say, rather perfect this game. Like they have no cards in hand, but they're in top deck mode, and I just could not stabilize. Feeling kind of sad. There's another game that I don't mean to sound like they got lucky. I'm just frustrated at how I played that game. I don't know what it was. Like I feel like I should have had a better chance of that game, and the fact that I played the way I did really cut my opportunity short and thus had me losing. And I feel like that was 2 of the 3 games I lost in that draft. 2 of them I lost. 2 of them I very well may have still lost, but I definitely did not give myself the best chance to win, which is kind of frustrating because this deck was a lot of fun. Like I really enjoy the snow line. If you're in a draft and you can find the snow line, like dive headfirst into it because it seems like a lot of fun. You just got to make sure you don't get too caught up like I did in like what picks you may have missed. Like just focus on moving forward and don't let yourself get tilted. Easier said than done, but thank you so much, my friends, for watching. Hope you all have a great start to your weeks. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.